Welcome back. Today, we explore the value of these most expensive Washington quarter dollars coins that could be worth huge money. Please find them. Let's get started. Our first coin, the Washington quarter, is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. numismatic history. As we explore the 1995 Washington quarter, specifically the version with the D mint mark in red color and dirty condition, we're diving into a coin that is as intriguing as it is valuable. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. Over the years, it has undergone several changes in design, metal composition, and minting strategies. However, the 1995 Washington quarter is especially interesting due to its unique market value. In 1995, the U.S. Mint produced over 1 billion quarters, including those minted in Denver with the D mint mark. The general mintage of these quarters was high, but the ones with unusual features like the red discoloration and dirty conditions are much rarer to find in today's market. These coins, despite their dirty appearance, have been found to attract a lot of attention, especially among collectors who are searching for distinctive features, such as errors or wear patterns that make them stand out. The design of the Washington quarter has remained largely unchanged since 1932. On the obverse, it features a left-facing portrait of George Washington, modeled after a famous Gilbert Stuart painting. The reverse of the coin depicts an eagle in flight, which was designed by John Flanagan. However, the 1995 issue with the D mint mark is distinct in that some examples have a reddish tint, which can occur when the coin is exposed to specific conditions, like certain environmental elements or exposure to chemical reactions. Though it may seem like a minor flaw, collectors have shown immense interest in these dirty red-colored coins. For some, this adds to the coin's unique character and perceived rarity, especially since most collectors tend to focus on pristine, well-preserved coins. In today's auction market, the 1995 Washington quarter with the D mint mark in red color and dirty condition can fetch surprising prices. Despite its less than ideal state, these coins have been known to sell for thousands of dollars, especially if they have certain characteristics that make them stand out among others. The combination of the 1995 year, the D mint mark, and the red color is rare enough to make it an attractive piece for coin collectors looking for something different to add to their collection. A 1995 Washington quarter in red color and dirty condition has sold for anywhere between $300 and $100,000 at auction, depending on the level of damage and the specific condition of the coin. Higher quality examples with minimal dirt and a more distinct red hue can even approach $100,300 or more. This is a prime example of how a coin that may seem worn or damaged can still hold significant value, thanks to its rarity and collector demand. Collectors have always shown a fascination with coins that have unique features, and this 1995 Washington quarter is no exception. Errors or unusual conditions, such as discoloration, can make coins more attractive because they deviate from the standard production run. This coin, though dirty and showing signs of wear, is one such example. Its uniqueness lies in its specific aging process, which gives it an almost mystical aura among collectors. Many collectors specifically seek out coins with unusual colorations, like red-toned coins, as they can symbolize different historical moments or circumstances surrounding the coin's creation. The 1995 Washington quarter with a red hue and dirty condition speaks to the coin's journey through time, having endured wear while still preserving its historical significance. The fact that this coin has become so valuable shows how the market for rare and uniquely conditioned coins can be. It's not just about the age or the mint mark, it's about the narrative behind each coin and how that plays into its worth. Next up, the 1974 Washington quarter. We find ourselves examining a coin that embodies both history and a fascinating minting era. This coin features a large date with a D mint mark and is in a dirty condition that makes it highly unique and incredibly valuable to collectors. The 1974 Washington quarter is part of the continuing series of Washington quarters, which had been in production since 1932. By 1974, the U.S. Mint had refined its minting process, but like many years before it, this coin was not without its imperfections. The 1974 issue saw a significant number of coins struck, with the D mint mark indicating that they were produced at the Denver Mint. However, in this case, the coin we are looking at has an error in the date. The large date style was used in 1974, but certain minting errors caused the numbers to be struck unevenly, creating a visually distinguishable difference between the large and small date versions of the coin. These discrepancies have caused an increased interest in the 1974 Washington quarter with the large date and the D mint mark. Just like other Washington quarters, the obverse of the 1974 quarter features the portrait of George Washington, while the reverse showcases an eagle in flight. The large date feature refers to the size of the numbers in the year 1974 on the coin's reverse, making it easier to distinguish from other varieties of Washington quarters produced that year. What makes this coin so valuable is the error minting in combination with its dirty condition. Coins with mint errors have long been prized by collectors, and this coin is no exception. The added dirt and wear can often make it seem like a less than perfect piece, but for collectors, this imperfection adds to the charm and rarity. In today's market, a 1974 Washington quarter with the large date and D mint mark, even in dirty condition, has substantial auction value. Depending on the level of the error and the condition of the coin, values can range anywhere from $46,000 when this coin is well preserved with only slight dirt. It could even surpass the $66,000 mark, especially when it's sold through trusted auction houses where collectors are actively bidding for rare and unusual varieties. It's worth noting that despite its dirty state, a coin like this has remained in demand for its error and the uniqueness of its minting process. Coins with noticeable errors often become prize pieces due to their rarity, and because the 1974 Washington quarter was produced in such high numbers, finding an example with an error and in less than perfect condition gives collectors the opportunity to own a piece of history. Collectors of Washington quarters and error coins are particularly drawn to the 1974 Washington quarter with a large date and the D mint mark because of its historical context and the rarity of the error. Coins with mint errors are always highly collectible, and this particular quarter is of significant interest to those who focus on collecting Washington quarters from various years. For many, this coin represents a unique opportunity to own a piece of US coinage that was not quite as it should have been, making it all the more valuable. The value of this coin is derived from the fact that mint errors, especially those that affect the design and date, are not only uncommon but also provide insight into the complexities of the minting process. Next up, the 1982 Washington quarter dollar, especially in its rare large date variant with the D error mint mark, is a coin that has raised eyebrows in the world of coin collecting. To understand the true value and significance of this coin, we must first dive into its history, design features, and what makes it so highly sought after in the market. The Washington quarter dollar series was first introduced in 1932, commemorating George Washington's 200th birthday. By the early 1980s, the United States Mint had produced a vast number of these quarters, with various modifications to the design and minting processes. However, 1982 is particularly important because it marks the period when the Mint faced significant issues related to the precision of its dies and the minting process. The 1982 Washington quarter dollar was produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with the D mint mark indicating that it was struck in Denver. Interestingly, the large date version of the 1982 quarter was an unintended error stemming from an issue with the number dies. As a result, there was an increased interest among collectors, leading to a sharp rise in demand for the large date 1982 D Washington quarter. The coin features the familiar Washington quarter design, which was first introduced in 1932 and remains largely unchanged to this day. On the obverse, you'll see a portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, facing left. The reverse features a bold eagle with its wings spread wide, and the inscription E pluribus unum above the eagle. What makes the 1982 Washington quarter stand out is the large date feature. The 2 and 8 in the date on these quarters appear larger than the ones in regular dates, making them identifiable to collectors. When these large date quarters were produced with the D mint mark in Denver, they became even more sought after, particularly those with minting errors, such as the black-colored dirty condition error. The D error mint mark, combined with the black color and dirty condition of these coins, adds an additional layer of rarity. Errors in minting, particularly those involving mint marks, are highly coveted in numismatic circles, while a normal 1982 Washington quarter might fetch a modest price. The error variants, especially in poor or damaged condition, often attract higher values because of the rarity and historical curiosity they represent. In the case of the 1982 D error quarter, the black color is typically a result of improper storage or contamination in the minting process, adding to the coin's uniqueness. Collectors of error coins appreciate these imperfections as they represent the human factor in coin production, making each coin a one-of-a-kind piece of history. As of recent auctions, the 1982 Washington quarter with D error in black, dirty condition can command anywhere from $200,000 depending on the severity of the damage and the desirability of the coin in its specific condition. In higher grade or well-preserved versions, this coin could even push higher into the $234,000 range. Collectors are particularly drawn to error coins for the same reasons they appreciate rare and limited edition pieces. Each error coin has a unique story to tell, and the 1982 Washington quarter with D error mint mark is no exception. For collectors of Washington quarters or error enthusiasts, this coin represents a thrilling tale. Over the years, the interest in this coin has only grown, especially among serious collectors looking to complete their sets or invest in error coins that might appreciate in value over time. The appeal of error coins is undeniable because they are often few and far between, and a well-maintained example of this coin is like finding a hidden treasure. Next up, the 1966 Washington quarter dollars, a classic example of how a coin's condition can dramatically influence its value. While the regular 1966 quarters are fairly common, a significant lamination error in a no-mint mark version makes this coin rare and highly valuable to collectors today. The Washington quarter dollar series continued to be produced during the 1960s as part of the U.S. Mint's ongoing coinage program. The 1966 Washington quarter had a standard mintage, but it stands out due to a unique error that affects only a small portion of the production run. Coins struck without a mint mark from this year are often associated with the Philadelphia Mint, but it's the coins with lamination damage that have caught the attention of collectors. The 1966 issue is particularly interesting because it was during a period when the Mint was experiencing various issues related to die wear, metal quality, and even the production environment. Lamination errors, which involve defects in the planchet, the metal blank used to strike the coin can cause layers of the coin to peel or chip off, leading to what collectors call lamination damage. Like all Washington quarters, the 1966 coin features the iconic image of George Washington on the obverse with the eagle on the reverse. However, it's the no-mint mark version that adds an extra layer of intrigue to this specific coin. The absence of the mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and the addition of a lamination error transforms a common coin into a valuable piece of history. The lamination damage on the 1966 Washington quarter can range from minor to severe. Minor errors might just show a small flake or chip in the coin's surface, while more extreme examples can show larger portions of the coin missing. These errors are considered highly collectible because they reflect the imperfections of the minting process and the challenges the mint faced during that era. The value of a 1966 Washington quarter in lamination damage condition has been steadily rising in recent years. A typical lamination error coin can fetch between $400,000 depending on the size of the error and the overall condition of the coin. In more significant cases, where the lamination error is especially pronounced, these coins can reach values of $430,000 or more. The interest in coins with lamination errors is particularly strong among error collectors who seek out the most unusual and unique variations of standard coins. The 1966 Washington quarter in this condition appeals to a niche market of collectors who are focused on errors and the quirks that make coins fascinating. The rarity of finding a lamination error in such a specific year only adds to the demand, making this coin a prized possession for those fortunate enough to. Next up, the 1984 Washington quarter dollar, with a large date and a D mint mark, might not be the first coin you think of when discussing rare quarters, but it holds significant value in the right condition, especially when collectors are in pursuit of an example with a unique history and notable minting characteristics. The 1984 Washington quarter dollar is part of the ongoing series of Washington quarters, which have been minted since 1932 to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington. In 1984, the United States Mint was producing standard circulating coins, which included a wide variety of quarters with different mint marks across various locations. Mint mark signifies that the coin was minted in Denver, Colorado, one of the primary minting facilities in the United States. Although the 1984 Washington quarter is a regular coin, it holds specific appeal to collectors because of certain key features, one of which is its large date design. During this period, there were subtle design variations that occurred due to changes in the minting process. These differences are a critical aspect of why the coin continues to attract attention in the collector's market. The 1984 Washington quarter features the classic obverse design of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan. This portrait of Washington has remained a symbol of the country's first president for decades. On the reverse side, the coin depicts an eagle with its wings spread, holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing the United States' commitment to peace, while acknowledging the need for strength and defense. The large date on the 1984 quarters was a feature that caught the eye of collectors as a small design change, especially compared to the previous years. The Mint decided to use a slightly larger font for the date, which, although subtle, was noticeable when viewed up. This change made certain versions of the 1984 quarter, including those with the D mint mark, stand out to those collecting minting varieties. The mintage of the 1984 Washington quarter was substantial. However, the coin's market value depends largely on its condition. A quarter in dirty or heavily circulated condition is less valuable than one that has been kept in pristine. When assessing the value of the 1984 Washington quarter with a D mint mark in dirty condition, collectors and investors often look at the rarity and the demand for coins from specific years and mint marks. In today's auction market, coins in dirty or worn condition are generally valued lower. However, the 1984 Washington quarter with the D mint mark is still a sought-after item, especially for collectors who specialize in Washington quarters and who are looking for specific varieties or mint mark combinations. Dirty coins can sometimes sell for anywhere from $64,000 at auction, depending on the wear and condition. However, if the coin was cleaned or damaged too much, its market value could be significantly lower. The more significant market impact for this coin comes from well-preserved versions that show minimal wear. A mint state or near mint 1984 Washington quarter with the D mint mark can fetch a price well above $71,000, with rarer specimens or those with unique features potentially going higher. While the dirty condition doesn't necessarily detract from the coin's appeal to collectors, the condition does play a major role in determining its exact auction value. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1984 Washington quarter is the potential for errors. While this coin is not known for having major minting mistakes like some of its counterparts in other years, any errors in the production process, such as misprints or die defects, can increase its value exponentially. Errors such as doubled dies, die cracks, or misaligned strikes can make this quarter especially valuable if they are spotted by keen-eyed collectors. Moreover, the collector's interest in this coin is driven by its role within the larger context of Washington quarters. Many collectors specifically focus on obtaining as many different mint marks and date variations as possible. The D mint mark from Denver, combined with the large date design, makes this particular quarter a desirable coin for those looking to complete or upgrade their collections. In summary, while the 1984 Washington quarter with the D mint mark in dirty condition might not be a top-tier coin in the marketplace, it holds importance for collectors due to its minting history, unique design features, and the potential for rare era varieties. Whether it's part of a larger Washington quarter collection or an individual find, its value depends on its condition, rarity, and appeal in the ever-evolving collector market. Next up, the 1983 Washington quarter dollars with a large date and a P mint mark. Much like the 1984 version, the 1983 quarter was part of the regular circulating coinage minted by the United States in the 1980s. However, despite its more common appearance, the coin has piqued the interest of collectors for a variety of reasons. The 1983 Washington quarter was minted during a time of economic growth in the United States. The early 1980s saw the country recover from the 1970s stagflation and oil crises. The 1983 quarter, which featured the same standard design as most post-1932 Washington quarters, marked a steady year in US coin production. This period was also notable for increased demand for quarters for everyday circulation, as the population grew and economic activity expanded. The P mint mark signifies that the coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which has a long and storied history as one of the primary facilities for coin production in the United States. Many Washington quarters minted in the early 1980s bear the P mint mark, which was first used in 1942 to signify coins produced in Philadelphia. As with other Washington quarters, the 1983 coin features a portrait of George Washington on the obverse side, with the reverse showing a spread eagle holding arrows and an olive branch. The main design change for this year was the inclusion of a slightly larger date, which is characteristic of the 1983 quarter series. Collectors often find the large date feature interesting, as it indicates a small shift in the minting process. This design alteration, though minor, is one of the few differences that separate the 1983 Washington quarter from other coins in the P mint mark, denoting the Philadelphia Mint, further adds to the coin's collectability. For collectors, the combination of the large date and the P mint mark is a notable variety. The mintage for the 1983 Washington quarter was high, with hundreds of millions of coins being produced. Despite the high mintage, coins in better condition, particularly those with fewer signs of wear, are still valued higher. In dirty condition, like the coin in this example, the market value is more modest, typically ranging between $50,000 depending on the degree of damage and wear. However, for well-preserved examples, especially those with little to no visible wear, the value of the 1983 Washington quarter can increase significantly. Coins in excellent or uncirculated condition can fetch prices upwards of $65,000 or more. In some cases, coins with proof-like features, such as a mirror-like finish, might bring in even higher prices in auctions. As with the 1984 version, one of the most exciting aspects of collecting Washington quarters is the potential for error varieties. The 1983 Washington quarter is no exception, and errors such as doubled dies or die cracks have been found on some of the coins from this year. These varieties can drastically increase the coin's value. For collectors, the primary interest in the 1983 Washington quarter with the P mint mark lies in its rarity in better condition, as well as its potential to house unique error varieties. While it may not be as rare as some other quarters from different years, the 1983 coin is still a solid piece for those looking to complete their collection or find rare examples. Next up, we have the 1968 Washington quarter dollar with a D mint mark error. This particular coin stands out due to both its rarity and the unique condition it holds. Despite its rather worn and dirty appearance, this coin holds immense value in the current auction market thanks to a striking error. But before we dive into its market worth, let's explore its historical context, features, and why collectors are so interested in this specific coin. The 1968 Washington quarter was minted as part of the US Mint's regular coinage series. This period in US coinage history marked the transition from older designs to those more reflective of modern America, even though the Washington quarter itself had been in circulation since 1932. What makes the 1968 coin especially interesting is the presence of the large date design, which was part of a series of quarters minted in the late 1960s. The obverse of the 1968 Washington quarter features the classic portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States, designed by John Flanagan. It shows Washington in profile, facing left, with liberty inscribed at the top in God We Trust beneath the portrait, and the year of minting below. The reverse displays an eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with the words United States of America and E pluribus unum surrounding the coin's motto. This coin carries the mark of the mint from where it was produced, D for the Denver Mint. Now, here's where things get interesting. The 1968 Washington quarter with a D mint mark error has a unique feature that differentiates it from others of its kind. In this particular case, the D mint mark was misstruck, creating a distinct D error. While most collectors would be interested in a coin's minting precision, an error like this can make the coin highly desirable for collectors seeking rare specimens. The black color of the coin's surface, resulting from years of tarnishing and dirt accumulation, only adds to its mystique and unique nature. Many collectors believe that coins with this kind of patina tell a story about their journey through time. In today's market, a 1968 Washington quarter with a D error mint mark in dirty condition has gained significant value due to its rarity and the error associated with the coin. Coins with this type of mistake often pique the interest of error coin collectors who value these unique imperfections, while a typical 1968 Washington quarter in average condition might be worth around $28,000. A coin with an error and distinct characteristics can fetch anywhere from $41,000 at auction, depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for error coins, especially when combined with additional factors like historical context and a unique design. The 1968 D error is particularly valuable because of its rarity, and as fewer coins like it are discovered, the price continues to rise. Auction houses and coin dealers alike report significant bidding wars for these types of rare finds, further driving up demand. Next, we move on to the 1969 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark. This coin, featuring the large date design, is another gem in the world of collectible US quarters. Unlike the 1968 coin, this one doesn't have the D mint mark, but it does have its own unique appeal. Let's break down why this particular quarter is so valuable and what makes it stand out in today's auction market. The 1969 Washington quarter is another example of the large date design, which became a distinct feature of coins minted in the late 1960s. The large date design was introduced by the US Mint to differentiate the quarters from those produced in earlier years. This was part of a series that included other denominations, all featuring larger numerals for the year on the coin's obverse. The 1969 Washington quarter carries the same iconic design created by John Flanagan. On the obverse, George Washington's portrait graces the coin, surrounded by the inscriptions Liberty in God We Trust and the year 1969 on the reverse. The eagle clutching arrows and olive branches is depicted, with the inscriptions United States of America and a pluribus unum. This particular coin is especially valuable because it lacks a mint mark. While many Washington quarters of this era were minted at the Denver or San Francisco mints, the absence of a mint mark on this coin indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The lack of a mint mark has made this particular quarter quite desirable, as collectors know that it's not as commonly found as quarters from other mints. In terms of market value, the 1969 Washington quarter without a mint mark holds a premium compared to regular circulation quarters. In fine condition, these coins can fetch around $200,000 at auction, depending on the demand and rarity. The market for Washington quarters, especially those with subtle differences like the absence of a mint mark, has been steadily growing as collectors search for unique pieces that tell the story of US minting history. The appeal of this coin among collectors is also driven by its connection to the era in which it was minted, an era that saw significant changes in American society and coinage. The 1969 quarter is a symbol of the late 1960s, a period marked by social change and political unrest, making it even more intriguing to collectors who appreciate the history behind these coins. A graphic appears showing recent auction prices for the 1969 Washington quarter, demonstrating how they've increased over time. Next up, the Washington Quarter Dollar series is one of the most iconic and enduring coin series in U.S. numismatic history, and while most of these quarters are common and easy to find, some rare variations stand out among collectors. One such example is the 1980 Washington Quarter Dollar with a D-era mint mark in color-changed dirty condition. This coin combines a rare era, historical significance, and the right amount of unique wear and patina to make it an incredibly valuable piece on the auction block today. The Washington Quarter Dollars was first introduced in 1932, designed by John Flanagan to commemorate the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. This design remained in circulation for most of the 20th century, though over time, slight modifications to the design and various mint marks have created a range of different coin types. The 1980 Washington Quarter falls within the modern era, a time when quarter production was at its peak. During the 1980s, production was high across various mints, including the Denver Mint, which is responsible for the D mint mark seen on this particular coin. However, it was also a period when minting processes were becoming increasingly mechanized, leading to occasional errors. Errors in the minting process are common, but what makes this coin unique is the D-era mint mark. The 1980 Washington Quarter Dollar features the traditional design by John Flanagan, showing a left-facing profile of George Washington. The reverse side showcases an eagle perched on an olive branch, symbolizing peace, with the coin's denomination quarter dollar inscribed underneath. The coin's obverse also contains the inscriptions "Liberty in God, We Trust" and the year 1980. For most of the 1980 quarters, the mint mark is located just beneath the date, signifying the location of the coin's production. In this case, the D-era mint mark coin features a mint mark that is misplaced, either overstruck or partially missing due to a mishandled die. This error is rare, and its appearance on a quarter elevates its status as a valuable collector's. Mint errors are a fascinating aspect of numismatics. In the case of the 1980 Washington Quarter with a D-era mint mark, the issue arose from an error in the minting die at the Denver Mint. Often, errors like this happen when the dies are not properly aligned or when there is wear and tear that causes incomplete strikes. This resulted in a partially struck or misplaced mint mark, which gives the coin a distinct and unique feature that draws attention from error collectors. Collectors are especially interested in error coins because they represent rare anomalies in coin production errors, like the D mint mark on a Washington quarter, are highly desirable, particularly when they are in clean, untouched condition. However, the color-changed, dirty condition adds an entirely different layer to the value. Color changing and dirty condition. While a coin's condition typically affects its value, sometimes the unusual appearance of a coin can increase its appeal. The color-changed effect on this 1980 Washington quarter likely resulted from environmental factors, oxidation, or prolonged exposure to various elements. This alteration in color can often create a visually striking piece, making it stand out even more. Dirty condition coins, while generally seen as less desirable, can sometimes command higher prices due to the uniqueness of the alteration. The natural aging process and discoloration of the coin can evoke a sense of mystery and rarity, which attracts certain collectors who appreciate the history of a coin's wear. The 1980 Washington quarter with a D-era mint mark and color-changed dirty condition can fetch a remarkable price on the auction market, with values fluctuating based on the coin's specific characteristics and the degree of the error. In a typical auction setting, this coin could see bids ranging from $500 to $1,000 in lower condition, but if it is in high demand or has a particularly distinct error, prices can soar well into the thousands. As of the latest market trends, a mint state example with a D-era mint mark has been known to sell for over $2,000 at auction, with collectors continually seeking out these rarities. The combination of the mint mark error, color change, and age-related dirt gives this coin a market niche of its own. Error coin enthusiasts, particularly those who specialize in quarters or Washington-era coins, will pay a premium for these unique finds. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And as always, keep hunting for those rare treasures.